Okay, so the regional major rankings for Europe has started. We're now going on to B, but I want to just give a recap of what happened on A. So 8 teams made their way through. It was a crazy competitive region as we could have expected. The teams we ended up seeing qualify was Heroic, Big, FaZe, Na'Vi, Forza, Vitality, Eternal Fire, and Outsiders. Some of the teams that didn't make it, you've got Fnatic in there, Dignitas, OG, Mouse, Saw. Now, I'm going to touch on the ones that did qualify first and give my thoughts on how all of this went down. Now, Heroic, certainly a team you expected to qualify from the start. They ended up beating Forza. It was 16-9, pretty good. Like, Forza's definitely a team that can fight. They obviously did qualify as well, which is fair enough. Fnatic also a 16-9. Fnatic haven't looked good this time at all. They've obviously got a lot of issues going on. But the big one, and I know people reacted the way they did to, like, how Cadian popped off, but Heroic beat Na'Vi. Now, yes, Na'Vi have got their issues, the situation the world's going on, they are not playing to full strength. But for Heroic, imagine this, you've played so many tournaments and Na'Vi, you've never beaten them, they're always beating you out when it matters, they've been your pain and your thorn, and they could also have delayed you from getting to the major. This time, Heroic did get the win, it was certainly a good fight, you can see how much it meant to them for sure. But we know Heroic, they're over the top of the celebrations anyway, that's the way it goes. Now this gets hella interesting. So Big Clan made it to the major in Legends 3-0 alongside Heroic. Like, would have never believed that. Now, I love this, but we obviously found out some information when we're doing interviews, when we're talking to the players. So first, they beat out Saw 16-5. You're thinking, really good. Then they beat Outsiders, the ex-Virtus Pro, 16-8. Then they go on to take FaZe down, the #1 team in the world right now. Now, let me just go through the scores. Dust 2, we know it's been a great map for Big, but you got up against FaZe, like all the heavy hitters. 16-7 win for Big. Then we go on to Mirage. 16-14, fair enough, very close, but they still win it. Crimbo, he is young. Like, let me just get exactly how I'm not. I don't want to get this wrong. He was in the Academy League. He's 19 years old. They said he's the best talent in Germany coming out right now. When he was doing Big Omen Academy, he was the in-game leader and like really good player. But now he looks ridiculous. He has so many good clutches as well. Like, this is a player to get excited about. Then I'm going to go on to FaZe Clan. So obviously, FaZe, as you just noticed, lost the big. We were a bit shocked by it. First game, 16-4 against Eternal Fire. It was on overpass. Eternal Fire didn't have a chance. Then Vitality on Mirage. It went 16-14, really close. We kind of looked at it as like, okay, like FaZe have come back from behind, and they did come back from behind in this game. They've been looking great, right? But they're the best team in the world right now. But Vitality have just not looked good at all. And the fact that Vitality got that many rounds, we're thinking, oh, Vitality have got better. Like, this is cool. Then obviously we see FaZe lose to big, and we're a bit like, kind of shocked. Oh yeah, this is another thing. When it comes to Big Clan, like the support staff they have around them, behind them, like that was a huge help as well. God B's also here. Obviously, he's a Valorant player now, but huge knowledge since the 1.6 days in Counter Strike, and he came in to help and give some extra preparation work and motivation, is what Tabson said he added. So okay, I can say FaZe, you lost out to him. That's fine. Then they go against Mouse, and before Mouse was able to at least take a map of them, this FaZe wasn't having it. This FaZe was going full crazy. Twist had a bad game against Big. He comes into this game, he lights up the server. Mouse tried the best of it, but you did just get overrun. Now, the final legend slot goes to Na'Vi, but my oh my, it wasn't easy. So they start off against Quasar. It's on Ancient, 16-12. It wasn't the greatest of games. Then we see them play OG, and they just demolish them, 16-5. And I'm like, yes, I've got my boys back. Like, Na'Vi's back in full control. Then the heroic game happens, and you think, all right, look, I understand the circumstances. It's very hard. Like, the team just looked disconnected. And by the way, Simple still put up like 1.30 rating, still the best player on the server, obviously, even without that. But like, Nuke was a struggle. Bit had like a really bad Nuke game as well, couldn't get anything done, so you didn't have like that third string alongside Electronic and Simple to do the damage. So it's like, all right, cool, we can take that. FaZe got the legend spot. There's one more spot remaining, which means Na'Vi and Forza have to battle it out for that spot. Well, Forza, you're thinking another CIS team, surely going to be able to fight against Na'Vi. Oh no, this could be bad. Like, we know what happens. Na'Vi against European and American teams, no problem. Against CIS teams, oh, what the fuck's going on? Luckily, 16-10 or 9, I think it was on Inferno. Let me check. 16-10 on Inferno for Na'Vi, and then 16-8 on Mirage. Very comfortable, very good. Simple went 1.23. Electronic, who was also ill before the game, he was not feeling well, which is why the game was delayed. He got to 1.45 rating. Boom! There we go. Now we come on to Forza. Now their run at this event started off against Heroic. They lost 16-9. Then they had a 16 win just about over Gamer Legion. Then a 19-17 against OG. You're thinking, damn, Forza, you're really pulling it through, but it's getting close. Then they 2-1 Saw, and that was also close. Like, my God, people actually thought Saw was going to win it at one point. 16-14 on Nuke, which is the pick of Saw. Then they lost, Saw lost 16-3 on Dust 2, and you think, okay. Then it goes on to Inferno. Forza just did not let up 16-5. So fair play to Forza at the end. Then obviously the Navi game we touched on, but they still qualify for the RMR. They end up 5th place. Now, Vitality. 16-6 win, pretty damn good against Dignitas. No match. 16-14 loss against FaZe. We talk about the Mirage game, very close. We start to think, oh, okay, this is good. Like, well done, Vitality. Then they beat Eternal Fire, 16-11. Nice. The loss to Navi, 2-0 doesn't tell the full picture. It definitely could have been a map going to Vitality. We could have been going to a third map. So I'll give Vitality some credit. Then against Mouse, though, this is the issue I have. They played against Mouse, and it went 16-13 loss on Nuke. Now, Nuke normally for Vitality as the old French roster was actually looking good. It was pretty nice. Fair enough. Then we get on to Dust 2. 16-11. Now, if you just didn't watch the game, you might think, oh, yeah, Vitality, comfortable. Honestly, it looked at one point like we were going to see Vitality lose 2-0. I'll be honest. Most people, if you watch that game, you think they were gonna lose it. Then Mirage, they do end up winning 16-13, but it was closer than what you would have liked. And I'll be honest, like Mouse is a good team, but they got a lot of young players without the experience. I'm still putting Vitality up here. They should be winning. Vitality right now, and I'm not gonna like say it's any particular player's fault. Masuta, Apex on the B site, I think it was on Inferno, it was just bad. Like it was just not being held well. Zai was doing his superhuman stuff again, still posting up lower numbers than what Simple does, but ultimately looking good. Dupree has just been so consistent, so solid. And Magis is, I'd say he's doing all right. I need to see Masuta from the end of 2021, before the Vitality change happened. And then I think that this team can compete. I don't know still if it's a communication thing. Like, they seem to be fine, but I'm guessing you can pre-plan so much in a game. But then when you get into, like, the details, it becomes a lot harder. So I'm still not sold on this Vitality. They have a lot they need to change before the major. Apex knows it. He was very honest in his interview. It is what it is. Next team to make it, though, was Eternal Fire. Now, I'm going to quickly go through these results because, like, it is Eternal Fire, the Turkish side. I love Woxic, for example. Zontaras I've known for a long time. It's great to see Calix back as well. But Xfloud, I did not know this player until this team. He didn't put up huge numbers, but I'll just say, this guy had impact. This guy had rounds where you're like, he is saving it right now for this team. So when you go down these results, they lost to FaZe 16-4. That was the overpass game I spoke about. Overtime, crazy overtime game against Dignitas 22-20. It was on Vertigo. Obviously, had the bomb incident where basically the bomb didn't spawn. It's happened once before. It's actually happened on one of their games before as well, I heard. Dignitas didn't want to replay the round. They thought, like, what the hell is this? We won the round. Eternal Fire didn't notice. It should have even got to that stage. It was so weird. Eternal Fire get it. Then they played Vitality 16-11. Close enough. But it's when they beat Fnatic, I went, okay, this Fnatic lineup's pretty bad as well, to be fair. Like, I'll give you that. You did it across 3 maps. Kind of close as well, but no overtimes in there. So this is more legit. But it was today against OG. Today's I'm filming this, by the way. So obviously it's the 20th right now. Oh my God. 16-14, close on Vertigo, which is the pick of Eternal Fire. Then 16-14 again on Dust 2. So close. But what that showed to me was that Eternal Fire, this is Woxic in-game leading. He's not a natural in-game leader. He is in-game leading this team and doing it. I'm not going to say they're going to do damage at the major. I'm just going to say that this is a legit result for them to qualify for the major over OG, who just like everyone would have said should have been there. He's got some problems, that's for sure. Now, Outsiders. Oh, God, Outsiders. The longest games in Counter-Strike. Like, we joke and say they're paid by the hour. I'm just going to say that, like, they obviously also have issues because they have Russian players on the team, Kazakhstanis as well, the Latvian and Yukinda at the same time, I love Yukinda. Always enjoyed like talking to him, spending time with him at events. The rest of the guys, I don't really speak to them. They don't speak that much English, so I don't have like any personal connections with these guys. But they beat Unique 16-2, easy game. Lost to Big 16-8. Lost to Mouse 16-12. Beat Dignitas narrowly, like so narrowly. Like Dignitas nearly eliminated him. It's a 1-2, right? And it goes over. So first map Mirage, Dignitas won 16-10. You think fair play? Then Inferno, 1917, only just by the skin of their teeth did Outsiders win that. Then Overpass 16-10, alright, I think like they showed their stuff. Now today against Saw was just wild, and I'll come more onto it when we get to the Saw game, but it's like Saw earned so much respect from this. chance to qualify for the major between Outsiders and Source, so close from start to finish. But ultimately, Outsiders got the job done. You got to give them the respect for they deserve for getting that. But it was an overtime game again on Inferno. And when I say it was like 0.02 seconds, that was the difference between if Saw won on Inferno and we didn't go to overtime and they just won the game, and Outsiders have been eliminated. And luckily, Jane was able to clutch it out like so close. Now, in teams that didn't make it, Saw didn't make it, as I just mentioned. Mao's a bit disappointing they didn't make it. OG didn't as well. Dignitas, I didn't really expect them to. Fnatic, it's so bad right now. Unique, Gamer Legion, and Kazaa. Now, I'm going to start with Saw. These guys have the highest average age of any team, 28. Nearly 29, 28.6 if you're going to go specifics. Some of these guys have played during the 1.6 times. Some of these guys have been playing for so long, very passionate. When they lost that game against Outsiders, oh, it was crushing. Like you saw, they're actually crying. This would have been a game changer for them. They've been grinding tier 2 for a long time. They've been playing lots of qualifiers. But yeah, this time it didn't work out for them. I felt bad. It was tough. That game was heartbreaking for them. Coming on to Mouse, the very young team, kind of the opposite of what Saw is. Dexter, Daddy Dexter, 28 years old, I think he is. Let me just double check that. Maybe 26, 27. I was in the middle. There you go. Frozen, JDC, Torsey, BMAS, very young, very talented. Cyclone, a really good coach. Obviously, you saw what he did with Mouse NXT. At one point, NXT was ahead of the main Mouse roster. But this is disappointing, but their games are tough. Like, they lost to OG to start off with, then they beat Kazaa, then they beat Outsiders, then they lost to FaZe, then they lost to Vitality. You know, like you had to play OG, Outsiders, FaZe, and Vitality. Only one easy team on paper in Kazaa. And they put a fight up the whole way. Like I said, they could have beaten Vitality. There was a chance in that happening going through. So, oh, tough times. Now let me go on to Fnatic. Oh, Fnatic. Now there's only two Swedish players. Pepsor coming from the academy team. Crim's obviously the legend. Alex had his times on Vitality and what he was doing. Poison from Complexity. Mezzy, our UK star, the most non-UK player who's actually very good. And they beat Gamer Legion. Then they lost to Heroic. Then they lost to Saw. And then they lost 2-1 to Eternal Fire. This is Fnatic we're talking about right now. They seem like a very mismanaged team. The roster, again, now misses 3 majors. I think this is in a row. Um, this is just not acceptable for a team that used to be the very best, right? Obviously, they tried this international mix and not just having Swedish players. It's not working. You might say they need more time or something, but I expect changes after this for real. And then another team also who I expected to get to the major was OG. And even when I tweeted out and just said this is disappointing for OG, like this is just isn't acceptable. I think the CEO, he even tweeted him and he was just like, yeah, it's sad. Like, it's tough. So they beat Mouse to start off with. Then they lost to Navi, lost to Forza, beat Unique, who obviously finished last, and then lost 2-0 to Eternal Fire. Like, and admittedly, you look through their games, they had some really close games. Like, even the Forza one, you think they were going to win, but like they played Forza on Dust 2, and I don't know what's going on. They had such a good start where like we were impressed at Blast with Nexa coming in, and then it's just gone really wrong. And I don't know what it is or what direction they've taken, but right now you can't have faith in this OG lineup. That's where we're at though so far for the major. There is only 8 slots remaining, one more qualifier to go. It's the rest of the European side of things. I'm really excited to see how it all goes. Bad News Eagles is the team on my lips where I'm saying good stuff about them. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking on it all as well. I'll keep cranking them out. But yeah, catch you on the next video. I'm really happy and enjoying my time in Romania, enjoying the time doing the RMRs and seeing which teams make it to the major. So keep enjoying all the games. Hopefully you're still enjoying all the content. I'll see you guys soon.